In 2012, Lionel Messi scored 91 goals in a single calendar year. Not a season. A calendar year. That's more goals than 13 entire La Liga clubs managed across their full 38-game seasons combined. Here's the part that breaks your brain. The record he shattered had survived 40 years. Nobody, not Cristiano Ronaldo, not Erling Haaland, not anyone, has come within 28 goals of matching it. Some record frozen in time. Today, 10 football records that science, logic, and common sense all agree will never be broken. Stay to the end. Number 10 will make you question everything you just watched. Entry 1. Most goals in a calendar year. Lionel Messi, 91 goals in 2012. The year was 2012. Messi was 25 years old, operating in a dimension of football that had never existed before. In that single calendar year, he scored 91 goals, Champions League, the Copa del Rey, and the Spanish Super Cup, plus 12 more for Argentina. Now the perspective. Gerd Muller's record of 85 goals in a calendar year had stood for 40 years. Muller survived Platini, Ronaldo the Brazilian, Van Nistelrooy, Shevchenko, every elite striker the sport produced across 4 decades. When Messi passed 85 in December 2012, the longest-standing individual scoring record in world football died. And Messi didn't edge past it. He demolished it. That same year, Cristiano Ronaldo, the second most prolific scorer on the planet, managed 63 goals. The gap was 28. Messi was 25. 9 hat-tricks. 7 direct free kicks. 81 goals with his left foot. 22 assists. A direct goal involvement every 53 minutes on the pitch. This wasn't an easy schedule. This was the Champions League, La Liga, Copa del Rey, and international qualifiers all running simultaneously. With modern rotation policies, pressing systems built to suffocate attackers, and biometric load management, no striker alive will sustain that output across 12 consecutive months. This record doesn't just look unbreakable. It looks like it belongs to a different species. Next, a goalkeeper who scored more goals than most Premier League strikers. I'm completely serious. Entry 2, most career goals by a goalkeeper. Rogerio Ceni, 132 goals. Rogerio Ceni was a goalkeeper. Gloves. Penalty box. His entire job was to stop the ball crossing his line. When he retired in 2015 after 25 years at Sao Paulo, 1,238 appearances, he had scored 132 goals, 61 free kicks, 70 penalties, 1 from open play, 3 Guinness World Records, most goals by a goalkeeper, most appearances for a single club, most games as captain. His best season, 2005, 21 goals in all competitions. The same season Sao Paulo beat Liverpool in the Club World Cup final. Ceni was man of the match. There are strikers in England's top flight right now who have never hit 21 goals in a season. This man did it from in goal. Then came the moment that made it absurd. March 27, 2011. A heated derby against Corinthians. The 38-year-old captain placed the ball down for a free kick, sitting on 99 career goals. The stadium went silent. He began his run-up. The strike curled over the wall and dipped into the top corner. The net rippled. The arena erupted. A century of goals, a milestone no goalkeeper had ever dreamed of, let alone achieved in a derby, at 38 under that pressure. Why will this never be broken? No modern manager on earth trusts their goalkeeper to take set pieces. The counterattack risk is catastrophic. This record is locked in a vault. The key has been melted down. Next, a player who received 3 yellow cards in one match and still wasn't sent off. This one hits different. Entry 3, most yellow cards in a single match. Josip Simunic, 3 cards. The 2006 World Cup. Croatia versus Australia. Simunic was booked in the 61st minute. Then the 90th. 2 yellows, automatic red. Pole didn't send him off. Then, in the 93rd minute, Simunic received a 3rd yellow card before Pole finally reached for the red. The cause? Simunic was born in Australia, spoke with an Australian accent, and Pole lost track of which player he'd already booked. 3 yellow cards. 1 player. 1 match. A confusion that somehow survived 90 minutes of World Cup football. This can never happen again. VAR, digital tracking systems, and electronic referee communication have made it physically impossible for a referee to lose count of bookings. This record isn't just unbreakable, it's unrepeatable by design. The technology won't allow it. Here's where things get darker. A red card 2 seconds after kickoff. 2 seconds. Entry 4. Fastest red card in football history. Lee Todd 2 seconds. The year 2000. Amateur striker Lee Todd lines up for a Sunday league match in England. The referee lifts the whistle and blows the starting signal hard, right next to Todd's ear. Startled, Todd turns and mutters 2 words you can probably guess. The referee, standing inches away, heard every syllable. Pocket. Card. 2 seconds into the match. Red card. Lee Todd became the fastest dismissed player in football history without touching the ball. Here's what makes this record eternal. It's not just hard to beat. It's philosophically impossible to beat. You'd need a red card before the whistle. That defies the laws of the game itself. Todd's record is frozen at 2 seconds. A monument to one very unfortunate moment and one very badly placed whistle. It will be there forever. Next, a goalkeeper who played 4 World Cups without missing a single minute. 2,216 minutes. Not a second less. Entry 5. Most World Cup minutes without substitution. Paolo Maldini. 2,216 minutes. Paolo Maldini is widely considered the greatest defender in football history. One statistic from his World Cup career barely gets mentioned. For tournaments, every single game, every single minute, no injury, no suspension, no tactical substitution, 2,216 consecutive World Cup minutes. Today's football works against this by design. GPS trackers, biometric data, injury prevention staff the size of small hospitals. Elite managers rotate obsessively, not just between matches within them, to prevent fatigue and overuse. For separate World Cups, spanning multiple years, 0 interruption, the modern game's entire infrastructure now makes this impossible. Maldini's consistency wasn't just elite. It was superhuman. And it will stay that way. Just Fontaine scored 13 goals at a World Cup. In 6 games. And he never played another one. Entry 6, most goals in a single World Cup. Just Fontaine 13 goals in 1958. The 1958 World Cup in Sweden. France's Just Fontaine walked onto the global stage and did something so extraordinary that 68 years later, with billions poured into football development worldwide, nobody has come within half of repeating it. 13 goals. 6 matches. Modern World Cup Golden Boot winners typically finish with 5 or 6. Fontaine nearly doubled that in fewer than a week of football. The detail that makes it surreal. 1958 was his only World Cup. He was picked partly by accident, replacing an injured teammate. He then scored 13 goals, won the Golden Boot, and never played at a World Cup again. His career was later cut short by injury. Modern defenses are structured to suffocate single strikers, not hand them double-digit opportunities across 6 games. Fontaine's record doesn't just look unbreakable. It looks like it belongs to a completely different sport. 3 World Cups, 1 man, and the youngest hat-trick in World Cup history belonged to the same player who won all 3. Entry 7, most World Cups won and youngest hat-trick scorer, Pelé. Pelé doesn't just own 1 record on this list. He owns 2 simultaneously. At 17 years old, Pelé scored 2 goals in the 1958 World Cup final against Sweden, the youngest player to score in a World Cup final. A record never broken. In today's football, coaches don't hand decisive finals to teenagers. This one is locked. But before that final, he'd already done something no teenager had done before. A hat-trick in the semi-final against France at 17 years and 244 days. The youngest hat-trick scorer in World Cup history. That was just 1958. He returned in 1962, winning his second despite injury limiting his involvement. Then 1970, the most heavily marked player on the planet, leading what many still call the greatest international team ever assembled, and he lifted his third. In the modern era, even global powerhouses struggle to retain the trophy across multiple generations. Players rarely stand at the pinnacle of international football long enough for 3 winners' medals. 3 World Cups. 1 man. A 17-year-old hat trick. This isn't football history. This is mythology with match reports attached. Here's where things get serious. 104 league matches without defeat. Not Arsenal's Invincibles. Not Bayer Leverkusen. 104. Entry 8. Longest unbeaten league run. Steaua Bucharest. 104 matches. 1986 to 1989. Everyone cites Arsenal's Invincibles. 49 unbeaten Premier League games in 2003 to 2004. More recently, Bayer Leverkusen's streak turned heads across Europe. Both pale against what a Romanian club did between 1986 and 1989. Steaua Bucharest went 104 domestic matches without a single defeat. 104. 3 full years. No cup shock. No fatigue collapse. No slip on a wet Tuesday in some forgotten League Cup tie. Nothing. The Leverkusen streak everyone celebrated? It ended. Arsenal's? Ended. Every modern dynasty buckles under fixture congestion, international call-ups, squad injuries, and the sheer volume of football elite clubs are now expected to play. The calendar is the opponent, and it always wins. Steaua's 104-game run was built in a different footballing world entirely. It will never be approached. Next 9 years. For clubs. For countries. 0 home defeats. Entry 9. Longest unbeaten home run by a manager. Jose Mourinho. 150 matches. 2002 to 2011. Love him or hate him, and most people do one without much middle ground. What Jose Mourinho did between 2002 and 2011 was unprecedented. Across 9 years. 4 clubs, Porto in Portugal, Chelsea in England, Inter Milan in Italy, Real Madrid in Spain. Mourinho did not lose a single home league game. Not one. 150 matches. For different leagues. For sets of players, cultures, tactics, and expectations. 0 home defeats. Think about what that demands. New squad. New city. New language. New footballing values, and still not losing at home. Not once. Across nearly a full decade. The modern manager barely survives 18 months before a board starts panicking. Sustained home dominance across one club is already close to impossible. Across 4 in 4 different countries, this record doesn't just look unbreakable. It looks like a clerical error football somehow allowed to happen. And finally, number 1. The record FIFA itself helped make permanent. 199,854 people. 1 stadium. Never again. Entry 10. Highest official match attendance. 199,854. Maracana. 1950. This record exists not just because of football greatness, but because the world itself changed to ensure it can never be repeated. The 1950 World Cup. Brazil versus Uruguay at the Maracana in Rio de Janeiro. Into that stadium walked, officially, 199,854 human beings. Nearly 200,000 people crammed into one concrete bowl for one football match. Here's why this is permanent. It's not just about whether a stadium can physically hold that many. No modern ground comes close. It's that FIFA, UEFA, and every major governing body now operate under strict all-seater regulations, hard ticketing caps, and safety legislation introduced specifically to prevent the crowd disasters of the 20th century. No modern stadium will ever be legally permitted to hold 199,854 spectators. The Maracana itself was later renovated. Capacity slashed for safety compliance. This isn't a record waiting for someone to build a bigger stadium. It's a record global law has permanently sealed off. 199,854 people. One afternoon. July 16, 1950. A number the modern world decided, collectively, should never be attempted again. 10 football records that will genuinely never be broken. A goalkeeper with 132 goals. A 17-year-old owning a World Cup. Nearly 200,000 people crammed into one stadium for one afternoon that changed a nation. One question for the comments. Which record shocked you most? Messi's 91? Rogerio Cini outscoring strikers? Or that Steaua Bucharest record nobody talks about enough? Drop it below, I read every comment. And if you're not subscribed yet, we cover football the way it deserves to be covered. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.